Hello! In this video, I'll explain every single move and idea, and introduce puzzle-solving rules in order to teach you how to use Puzzle Rush as a tool to rapidly improve your calculation abilities. Not only that, but I will teach you how to choose the best move in any position by understanding and applying imbalances and general principles. We will get a lot of practice in this video using this method, so be prepared to learn a lot. You can grab a piece of paper and write all this down to help you if you'd like. We're just going to jump into the puzzles right away now. Thanks for your time. Let's put it to good use and begin. So basically the rules is just calculate as much as you can until you use principles to sort of guess and solve, and use forcing moves. So right here, this is just really simple. We just promote the pawn. Takes 5 moves, and that's going to take them like 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just winning. So checks, captures, threats is forcing moves. Check here, then I take that. Just capture that, win a bishop, I guess. But they would be threatening mate, though. You always gotta watch out for your opponent's plans, because if they go here and here, our king would be in mate, because these would be covered by the king. Goes by the rook. I guess we just take the bishop since we're losing. We need more. We gain the material back, and then now we'll be up a knight. So this knight covers these 2 squares, and the queen can go here, and I'll be mate. So this escape square is covered, and the king will be in check with our queen, and they can't move, so it's mate. They can't take it because they put them in check. So just mate in 1 because the bishop blocks the escape square. So that's the first check I see. This bishop is covered by the knight, so that escape square is covered, as is this one with the bishop. So this is going to be mate in 1 because those are covered, that's covered, and that's put in check by the queen. Nothing can block that square, so nothing can stop the check from the queen. So they're mate in 1 because the knight defends that square, and this is all covered by the queen. So back make mate. We put him in check, right? And then the rook takes, forced, and then rook recaptures, and it's mate because nothing can block. So this is covered by the bishop, and this is mate again because this is all covered by the queen. Escape squares blocked by their own piece. Okay, so I see this check here, and anyway they block this mate. So they block with rook, take, block with bishop, we take, and they go down. Maybe it's not actually, yeah, they can't go up because the pawn blocks these 2 squares. So they're probably just going to block with their pieces, but we just take, and this will be covered by the queen, right? And then this will be covered by this pawn. Capture and check all in 1. Love to see it. And then again, it would be back rank. So this is main 2. If there was a piece here, like the bishop, then that would be main 1 because the king would be blocked in, and the check on the diagonal will be mate. But there's a square here the king will go to. So after queen goes here, then king goes there to f8. This square is covered by the bishop, so the queen can go there, king can't take, king's in check with no escape, so it's mate in 2. Again, that's covered by the knight. Don't go here, bishop will take. So it looks like knight takes this pawn, check, and mate. Everything's covered by the queen. So I see this check. These are covered by the rook. Well, the knight would block if we go here check. But then queen would go here, it's defended by the rook, and that's mate 2. Because there's a pattern, if the queen is here, all these are covered. So these 2 block the escape square. So we're gonna go here, they're gonna block, which is forced. We go here with mate. So notice the queen and the king are on the same diagonal. So you wanna make use of that weakness. And you wanna, fortunately we have a bishop here, so we can just pin the queen to the king. King can't move, queen can't move. Well, king can move, but no matter what, we're taking this queen. Unfortunately, we can do it with a lower value piece, bishop, 3 points versus 9. And of course, we gotta look at the follow-up moves. I think we just have to take, and we'll be fine. So we'll be up. We'll have an extra rook. I'm just wondering, is this? I think yeah, because no matter if we just move there, they can win our rook. But I don't know. I think this is just the correct move, just to take with the rook, because you want to simplify all the pieces off the board once you have a winning material advantage. So even though we're giving up 9 points for 8 points, I believe it's correct because we just want to get their attacking pieces off the board, and yeah, just it's safer. So this is check. First one I see. So king would go here, assuming they don't want to block first to see what happens. If they went there, knight here, check, and this would be forced. Queen could go here. That would be not mate because queen can block. That's gonna be a tough one. This is probably, yeah, they're not gonna block. That would just blunder mate. So they're gonna. So it is good. It's forcing though, so it means it's easy to calculate, and it's a powerful move to play. It forces them to move because it's a check. And forces them to go to 1 square. I mean, so I don't like how this rook is not developed. Can't do anything because these pawns. So we're gonna have to use our knight because we can't just use one piece for an attack, even though the queen is pretty powerful. Can go here. So this has to be the move. And the knight here, check. This is covered by the queen. So, oh wait, yeah. And these are covered by the queen. So king goes down. So maybe not, yeah, we don't go here with the queen, we go here with the queen actually. And that is mates, there we go. Not too terrible. It's probably the thumbnail, it's a good thing to look at. So I'll just go through it again. Check. King's forced to go down. Knight here, check. King is forced to go there. And then queen goes here. And that's mate, because this escape square is covered by the knight. And these are all covered by the queen. The king is going to be here. And those 2 pieces block the king in. So mate in 3. Nice pattern here. They got the diagonals covered with the bishops. So it's mate in 1. The first check I see. This is covered by the knight. This is covered by the bishop here. So it's mate in 1. First check we see. It's covered by the rook. This one might be harder too because it's not as obvious. Maybe this would be better instead. But king goes down, attacks the knight. That's not very good. This looks more natural, so. Yeah, so this actually, yeah, this is forced, but we can't put him in check though here. I wonder if it's gonna be like slow and we just move our king to open up this rank for the rooks, bring the rooks over. It's probably too slow. I see it now. This is a simple puzzle actually. So there's 6 different patterns of forks with a knight that I could show, but I probably just do that in my other video I'm planning on making. But so these 2 pieces, if the knight is here, those can be forked. So after we go here with check, then we're going to go here and fork the rooks, and we're going to win a rook for a knight. Let's make sure there's no better move. I don't think so. Mistake from the opponent. Blunder, actually, because this bishop covers the whole diagonal, but this square right here, put the queen there, and it's mate. Make sure you don't go here because the knight would take you. Always gotta look at your opponent's pieces, not just your own. Rook check, defended by the bishop. Love that this pawn blocks these two squares. So, going to the corner blundered the mate because after the king goes back, rook goes here, and that's mate because it's defended by this bishop. It's in check, and these two are covered. So there. Wait, this is covered by the rook actually, and this is covered by the bishop. So that's actually is forced. So rook check. Only legal move. Check. King goes back, and mate. Mate in 3. Wait, so they did something. So actually, yeah, the bishop doesn't cover that square because the rook is there. That's not too difficult to see, but I messed it up. But fortunately, it still works. I think we just probably go here. So discovered, check. Bishop. We'll put the king in check, and the rook will attack the queen, so we just pick up the queen. Assuming there's no better move like checkmate, which I just don't think there is, because we can't really attack the king with our rook anymore. This looks to be like a little difficult because this check doesn't work. This attacks the queen, might not be terrible, and then that would also allow for this, so I love that because these are covered by the pawn. You note that. And also, this square will be covered by the knight if we go there, so the queen can't take the bishop. I see, I see. So, just by principles, like that does not work. That idea does not work because the queen in this, you just can't attack the king because the queen's so close to it, and the rooks and everything. But actually, this square is also covered by the knight. There's all 8 of these squares in this pattern are covered by the knight. This one is the one that's important because our rook can take it. That's mate in 1, because this is the only getaway square. That one's covered by its own piece. This one's covered by its own piece. This one is defended by the pawn, and this one is defended by the knight. So, in this pattern with the rook here, and the queen here, rook here, king here, there's only 4 getaway squares. But yeah, they're all covered. So this is a double check, and it's actually mate. Love that. The rook puts the king in check, and the bishop puts the king in check. And this is the escape square covered by the rook, and this escape square is covered by the bishop. And I can't block the check because there's 2 different pieces giving check at once. Along a diagonal and a rank, or a file, I mean. A diagonal and a file, so. I think I know this one too. This is a common pattern. The idea is because the knight, when you take when you take it with whatever piece is on this square, when you take it with the knight, it also attacks the bishop. So if that weren't the case, then this bishop would pick up this bishop. But since we have this knight, it can move in L shapes. We're gonna pick it up back. We're not gonna lose material. I guess we'll actually gain. We'll gain 3 pieces for 2 pieces, I suppose. So I was saying that the square actually matters a lot, like which piece you take with. You're going to want to take with bishop first, because then you can do the knight trick. Oh, I was wrong, of course. Never take enough time. don't want this video to be an hour long. I mean, the queen defends the bishop too. That's lame. So lame. So, bishop takes, we trade that off. Oh wait, no. So we can do this because the bishop is defended twice. And we just take this bishop first. That's why we want to move the knight first, because this bishop's undefended, and they have to recapture this knight. So think about the forcing moves: checks, captures, threats. A capture is pretty forcing, because now they have to capture back, or else they lose material. But once they do that, we capture this piece, and we're up 3 points. Then they just trade off the bishop. That makes sense. So this is day 4, trying to get to 40, 0 mistakes. We made a mistake, but we can still go to 40. See this check? These are all covered by the queen. That would be by the rook. This is covered by the queen as well. So king goes here, forced. These are covered by our king. So queen here is mate 2. This is mate 2 again. See, I don't know why these are kind of easy puzzles. I guess that one's supposed to be easy too. I just didn't think about it long enough. So many different captures, it makes it difficult to, makes it just confusing to think about. Another discovery, or a double check, I mean. So no, this square, I believe, is better. Either way, they're going to have an escape square. So it's very important which one we choose. There's only one correct answer. So if we go here, okay, so queen here would be checkmate, because it's defended by the pawn. If the king is either one of those squares, no? Oh, wait. So king could escape here. But then we can move our knight out of the way. If it's here, I don't know. I'm sure this has to be the right move because of the double check. It's like you can't get more forcing than double check. Basically the best move based off that. Best move possible in chess. Oh wait, yeah, so if we go here, that's it, yeah. That would, if we go knight here, then both of these would be covered. That pattern we talked about. But if we go here, then both of these are covered. So then this would be forced, and then this trick would work, or this checkmate would work. Not very fancy or anything. This is covered by the pawn, it's covered by the pawn. Then queen there is mate, because, again, that pattern, these two are the escape squares, and they're blocked in by its own piece. So go here to prevent the king from going there. This is all in check with the queen. Those are covered by the pawn. So king goes here, queen goes here. Mate in 3, or no, mate in 2. Very simple, mate in 2. So do not go here with the rook because the bishop will take. But we do like that we have these 2 pieces right next to our opponent's king. Do we have to? Oh, okay, yeah. So we go here. This is the option because it's defended by the pawn. So they would take this pawn forced because this whole file is covered by the queen. This part of the file, this column here. So after rook goes here, check, king takes pawn, and then queen goes here to a5, and that's mate. Because this file is covered by the queen, this one's covered by the rook, and the queen defends the rook. So boom, bing, bang. Gotta love endgames. They're usually simple. The lower rated endgame puzzles, I mean, are more easy than the other general lower rated puzzles. But endgames are very important. It's like you can tell the difference between like a super grandmaster like Magnus Carlsen or like a regular grandmaster or like a amateur by their in-game play. Their in-game This is like super, super important. Well, we gotta. This is a threat that the opponent has. We gotta acknowledge mate or queen and 4. It only takes us 3 moves to get there. 1, 2, 3. We got plenty of time. So in fact, we can wait until this move, because there's like a box, right? The pawn box, the square they call it. So it only takes 2 moves. If the pawn is here, it only takes 3 moves to get to the promotion square. And the same thing for our king, because this diagonal is 3 long, as is this file here, this column. So we have time to move somewhere else, like here. But then they're going to have mate in 3. So I don't get this. I suppose we're just going to capture this pawn. And maybe it's going to be like Zugzwang, where they don't have any good moves. Oh yeah, because they're blocked in. But my pawn, they can't go forward. They'd have to go all the way over here. And if they do that, I'll capture this pawn and this pawn, and then I'll be able to promote this long before. So they have to capture this with their king, get out of the way, and then push this 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. So 10 moves. We got 10 moves to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something like that. But I mean, we have to go this direction to capture this pawn, right? We can't push this forward. We'll be able to push our pawn, but they'll be able to get theirs faster. I guess if we go here, they go down. Then we can go back into the box, the square of the pawn, back into this, because this is the 4x4 square. There's like no point though, right? There's no way that's the correct move. Just to go back and forth. You might as well just go take the pawn. Unless that does lead to like Zugzwang. No. There's only 1500 to read about. I know this is not correct, and there's the only thing else. The only other thing we can move is the king. So, and if we don't go over here, this pawn's gonna promote. So it's not that hard. Okay. Well, it is hard apparently, but like I should come on. That was funny, I guess. Ain't no way that's true. There's no way this is correct, bro. I'm so stupid, man. I understand it now from seeing this position. We can push this. They'll push this one first, but we can take that. They won't have time to promote this one because it's first they had to push this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is on the same diagonal. So queen here first. We'll be able to take their queens. They block them. Really, just block them from promoting. That's not very hard a puzzle, is it? But I couldn't get it. Great, it's another endgame, guys. Which pawn do we take with? If we push forward, then they go forward, and they just take. I would assume you take with this pawn, maybe, because you want this pawn to be as far away from the king as possible, because the king's going to try to stop it. So, yeah, and once we push this up, once we have a pawn here and a pawn here, if they push, we push, and if they take, we take. And I'm assuming this is wrong because then we'll have to push the pawn here instead of here. It'll be like this pattern instead of this pattern with the 2 pawns. And by that time, the king will be able to get there, you know. 1, 1, 2, 2. What? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So that's not too hard to calculate. Hopefully that's right. It should be about right. So we know this is wrong, and we know this is right because we want the pawn to be away from the king. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, that last puzzle, I knew I should have pushed the pawn. Like, moving your king is too passive. So you should, like, by principles, know that moving the pawn forward is correct. But I just didn't look at that move enough to actually calculate. So I didn't follow my own rules. So hopefully you did, and you got that one right. But no checks. I don't think that's doing much. Okay, so this is the obvious looking move. There's no checks or captures that seem to work, but there's a threat. Forked queen and the bishop and the rook. Say they trade rooks off, take back, they move their queen, take the bishop. I mean, I guess it's like bishops are better than knights. You'd think there'd be more to the puzzle than just trading a bishop for a knight, especially for a 1550 approximately rated puzzle, somewhere around there, 1570. This is, no, doesn't work because nothing defends the square. Otherwise, with that pawn, we'd be able to fork the bishop and the knight. So this looks like the leading candidate move. But what happens? Yeah, they can afford to trade rooks. Then I won't be able to take the rook. They're gonna move their queen. And I would like to take the rook and win 2 points material there, 3, 5. But if they can move their rook, then I won't be able to actually win that material. If they go here, they'll be attacking my queen. So I think it'll be forcing me to recapture the rook. Let's just go for it. There's no way that's wrong. Really disappointing we can't get higher than around 30. Oh wait, you just gotta think about the move order. You look at the captures, it's more threatening than the threats, right? Checks, captures, threats. If you capture and then this bishop recaptures, then you can fork the queen and the bishop. And the queen cannot defend it, I guess? Because the only way it could defend it is by going on this file, and this square is covered by our bishop. Not too complicated. But at least we got 27 puzzles done. And at least you can write down those rules for solving puzzles. So yeah, this is going to be the move. Not too hard. Well, we can just try to do better next time. Consider subscribing and turning on notifications to make learning a consistent habit. And thanks for watching.